This is the Football Contest Show on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Compete for cash and a grand prize trip to Las Vegas with the Modelo Fight to the Top series. Enter 9 free fantasy football contests and rise to the top of the leaderboard to claim your share of $5,000 in weekly prizes and a grand prize trip to Vegas. Head to DraftKings.com/Modelo NFL now to get in on the action. Modelo, the official beer of fans with a fighting spirit. 21 years and over only. Terms and conditions and other eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Drink responsibly. Welcome back to the Football Contest Show. Brady Cannon and Mike Pritchard with you, and we are lucky enough now to be joined by a couple of gentlemen. They are a duo, a team that represents IE Analytics, and they are your first quarter champ for the Booby Prize. Now, listeners not familiar with the Booby Prize, Derek Stevens and the crew there at Circa, they introduced this a couple seasons ago where you could actually get awarded for finishing dead last in the contest, the Booby Prize, if you will, and then it was later introduced that there would be quarterly Booby Prizes, just like there are for the other side of the coin, where you have quarterly prizes for the best record in the contest. Gentlemen, it is Chris Drake and Brian Bjornholm, a part of IE Analytics. Congratulations. You guys take home the first quarter prize for the Booby Prize, finishing 18-2 to start the season.
Sounds better than that, but yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, and I guess I should say 2-18 is the proper way to phrase it, right?
Yeah. Embarrassingly, yes.
Yes.
So let me ask you guys. I'm guessing to start out 2-18, was this a plan going in, or did you just pivot like right away out of the gate?
Yeah. So this is our third year doing the contest. We've had some success the first 2 years. Obviously, some growing pains. We're in the Detroit area, so we use a proxy. Had to adjust to that. Shout out to Brett, by the way, at Winter Circle, always take care of us. But first year, we ran like 52, 53% against the spread. Second year, we did a little better, around like 58%. So we actually this year only did one entry. Figured we'd come in and do pretty well. Thought we'd be fine like we did, kind of carry off from last year and improve and see hopefully a number north of 60. And week one, that came to an abrupt halt. Obviously, it just wasn't working. So we kind of put our heads together. It was like, if we're not 4-1 going after week 2, well, we got to make a decision here. And then, second week just wasn't helpful at all. We were 1-9 through the first 2, and we kind of looked at each other and said, "All right, well, we know we're confident in our abilities, but now there's a prize to play for here." So, in our minds, we went 9-1 the last 2 weeks to take it home.
Wow. So the pivot right there, too. I mean, when you think about it, I'm looking at your name, IE Analytics. So I'm trying to imagine there's some algorithms or some numbers in play here to where you guys carved out a strategy to win the Booby Prize here.
Yeah, so our name, IE Analytics, comes from us being hockey guys, inside edge. And in regards to strategy, we focused heavily on, where the public money was coming in, where the handle was coming, percentage of bets, stuff like that. And honestly, we rode the public quite a bit the last 2 weeks to go 1-9 or 9-1, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Guys, I was in Circa Millions last year, and I had an 0-5 week in week 4, and I decided to turn and go the other direction and try for the Booby Prize, which, of course, only pays dead last. I think this year they might pay the lowest 2 places in the Booby Prize. I ended up finishing 39th from the bottom, so I made a pretty good run, but the way I was doing it is I just picked the games that I liked traditionally and then just filled out the other side. Do you guys do it that way, or you said you kind of just followed where you saw the difference in public and sharp play, or did you pick out the games you like and just go oppo?
Well, we've listened to the winners in the past, and usually the first thing they say is it's the contrarian play. Yeah. So most of our plays for the most part last year were contrarian, and like I said, we had some success. So, what we did this year was we just kind of, when we knew we were going for the Booby, we just kind of flipped it right there and said, we're just going to ride the public and go that route.
Ride the public, and then also, go with the bad teams, so to speak, where we saw like some discrepancies in lines that, last week, for example, Arizona, Carolina, we thought the wrong team was favored. We took Carolina minus the points. Arizona won that game outright for us. So some analytics there, I guess. But, fading the sharp play a little bit.
Did you discover along the way too? I mean, 2 of 18, that's impressive to win the Booby, 25,000 right there. Did you discover along the way too to kind of double dip? In other words, you put in your contest entries there for the Booby, but then on the other side, maybe you put together a parlay with some other tickets that way.
Yeah, so we do a little bit of parlaying, but largely individual plays. I'd be lying if you said that we were up on individual plays. Like Brian mentioned, the first 2 weeks we went 1-9, so we went quote unquote 9-1 the last 2 weeks. So we're essentially even on our plays. So yeah, we'll be focusing on continuing finding the losers, and that marches on this week.
And quarter number 2 begins this week in your pursuit of another cash there for a quarterly prize. And, of course, the ultimate prize being, what is it, $100,000, I believe, to the end all of the season Booby Prize winner. Gentlemen, I want to talk a little bit about your experience in Week 4. I know heading into Week 4, you were 2-13. And I don't know if you thought maybe you had a shot at the quarterly prize, if that was on your mind, but I know that had to be just a fantastic sweat to see your games go 0-5 in Week 4.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. The text messages we had going back and forth were, I mean, you wouldn't believe if you saw. We were like 1-4 moves the chains. 0-5 though, ideally. Like it was kind of embarrassing, I guess, looking back on it. But no, it was good. And then Monday night, Monday was we kind of looked at the standings, and Monday was it was stressful. We went back all day long.
Yes, and then we were able to research on the Circa site, kind of our competition, I guess, leading up to Monday night, and who had what left to go that could, overtake us. And we saw there was one entry that had 17.5 points. He or she picked the Niners to cover. We were confident in that position. We thought that was going to be a win just based on the way that Shanahan, has been good ATS against McVay, based on where the public money was coming in on the Rams money line, Rams ATS. So for he and I, we said no hedge. We trust the Niners to get it done for us Monday night.
Okay, looking forward, guys. Teams that the public still are on, that, you look at them and, okay, how are they going to possibly cover spreads here? I mean, any teams revealed that way to you guys this week?
Yeah, so we feel like the Pats are pretty standard play this week. So we took them, being from Detroit, it's tough, but the Lions probably cover, maybe win the game outright, and we like the Circa line at 3.5. So we laid the points with the Pats this week. We like Miami -3 or 3.5. I forgot what the line was with the Circa contest. Yeah, Teddy's a beast ATS. The Jets I don't necessarily trust even at home, so we're okay there. I think we also took the Giants this week in London. Quarterback situation is iffy. I feel like Green Bay will have a good bounce back against a decent Giants defense, but after the kind of scary game last week against New England.
All right, very good, guys. I got to ask you, have you thought about this? Is there possibly another pivot in your future? What if everything goes south here and you start, putting together a 55% card to the other side? Do you turn again and start trying to pick winners rather than losers?
Well, yeah, we kind of made a joke actually on like Tuesday, Wednesday when the results came out. We're like, we'll put everybody's mind in a blender, and what if we go out there and run 19-1 or something in the second quarter and just yeah, definitely just throw everybody for a loop. But no, right now, we're kind of just looking at it as we're first place for 100K, so we're just going to kind of ride that train out. And if there is a pivot point in the future, we'll kind of take that maybe quarter by quarter. But yeah, as it sits right now, we're definitely just going to stay our path. And like I said, we're in first place for what I guess, we're trying to achieve.
Yeah. Fingers crossed for this week.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, best of luck to you. I hope not to be in competition with you, gentlemen. I'm going the other direction, right, Pritch?
Yes.
Guys, have a great week 5. Best of luck again. I hope you make it all the way. And thanks so much for coming on our program.
Thanks for having us, guys.
All right. That is Brian Bjornholm and Chris Drake. They make up the team IE Analytics, who took home the first quarter Booby Prize in the Circa Millions. 25,000 richer are those two gentlemen. I assume they split it up.
Well,
Let's hope so.
Yeah,
Maybe they have some sort of agreement.
Maybe agreement right there. Like that gets tricky though. Like if you put in equal money, you're going to split it up. But you never know the situation. So
I imagine it's an even shop.
Right.
I'll tell you what. One thing I got from that 10 minutes we spent with them, they seem very excited. I'm happy for them, man. They are having fun, aren't they? And I imagine that's ultimately what Derek Stevens wants, for these people to have fun and have that energy and exuberance. After success in this type of thing.
Which one's harder? You've been doing this for more than 2 decades. Which one's harder, to go 18-2 or to go 2-18?
Boy, I tell you, if you're intentionally trying to do it, I'd say they're equal.
Okay, but the thing is, yeah, absolutely, you got to celebrate that. I mean, to go 2-18, I mean, my goodness. Do you say good luck?
Guys. And it's great that Derek has, an award for going 2-18 because sometimes it just feels like you're done at 2-18, but not so in Circa Millions. We'll be back with the final segment of the football contest show in just a minute. Mike's and my picks for this week.